Welcome to this special UAS broadcast. We are delighted to record here at MEBAA Show 2024. I'm Omar, Hosari, the CEO of UAS. I'm delighted to be your host to take a deep dive into the existing growth and future prospects of the Saudi business aviation market. With the Kingdom Ambitious Vision 2030 plans driving economics diversification, private aviation is soaring to new heights. So today, we will explore the latest developments, the factors fueling the expansion, and what the future holds for this becoming sector. From cutting-edge infrastructure to strategic investments, we are about to explore the key players and trends shaping Saudi Arabia business aviation. I'm delighted to welcome two exceptional Saudi industry thought leaders, Mohamed Albokhari, CEO of Aviation Horizon, and Yosef Hafiz, VP of Sales and Marketing of NASJET. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your nice introduction.
Without delay, I think I'm going to start with my first question. What are the key factors driving the expansion of Saudi Arabian business aviation market? And how are they aligned with the country vision 2030 goals?
The drive comes from few points, mainly that Saudi Arabia, based on the number of airports that exist there, it's 22 airports, and the size of population and the existing future plans for the country development overall. Basically, this is where general aviation will be feeding from. Okay, mega projects, new development of general airports, and also the big corporates that are coming in to share their knowledge and their, I would say, expertise in building this country based on the leader's image. So all of this obviously will improve and develop the country's economy, and in turn it will affect for sure the general aviation.
Overall, there's been an uptick in ad hoc charter requests, to be honest with you, because of all the mega projects that we have going on around the kingdom. Many of the companies are establishing regional headquarters in Saudi Arabia, which is a positive indication that there is a shift, if you will, of corporations, businesses, establishments to be headquartered in Riyadh in the kingdom. Now, with that, there comes a uptick of also ultra high net worth individuals based in Saudi Arabia. Many new comers to the market, if you will. There's not enough aircraft currently, business jets, to support the demand. Therefore, there's an uptick in a requirement for people to purchase private business jets. We're seeing many of them as first-time buyers coming to the market who are interested in inducting their aircraft on a op-specs in Saudi and then basically transitioning over to charter so they can fly personally on their own jets and also charter their airplanes.
Great, yeah. Now, I want to understand how is the Saudi government supporting the growth of the private aviation and what the infrastructure developments are being made to accommodate this growth?
I think the first step that we saw with the General Authority of Civil Aviation is that they amended the rules and regulations. They made it easier to do business in Saudi Arabia, which is a very positive step forward for owners. What they've done is that they made inducting an aircraft on a 125, if you will, which is a private category operator certificate, much easier than it was before. They're trying their best and they're making positive movements forward to bring more owners into the kingdom, if you will. Some of the Saudi companies or Saudi owners base their aircraft outside the kingdom. So they're allowing them the opportunity to come into the kingdom to base their aircraft there, if you will. And also hopefully, if it's with a Saudi operator, convert it over to charter configuration to allow for more charters.
You want to add anything, Mohammed, on that point?
I would have to highlight a very, I would say, major advancement in the Saudi regulatory in terms of aviation. The new president of the GACA have established a department that focuses mainly on the development of the general aviation sector and resolving and solving all the issues that whether foreign investors or local operators are facing, and also massaging the existing regulation to go along with the new vision of Saudi. So basically, that itself, as an operator, we've seen it was very helpful.
To elaborate more, I mean, does GACA with these departments, do they have a regular meetings with the stakeholders in the kingdom to understand the landscape of the industry and talk to the specialists and consult with them before putting any regulations or any amendment to a certain regulations? Because definitely there's a lot of players in the Saudi Arabia, and a lot of them has a massive experience in this. I want to understand how consistent and how focused is GACA on these with this department to having the opinion and the of these stakeholders.
I think recently GACA established a couple of years ago a general aviation department, which we didn't have before in Saudi Arabia. There's a team of experts who work. They're headed by a GM, a general manager, who works directly under the president of GACA. What they've done is they've established meetings for us internally at their headquarters, where they gather all the operators. They ask us, what are our concerns, what are our areas that we need improvement upon, and they're listening. It takes a little bit of time, but they're getting there. And we've been talking to them probably over the past 2 or 3 years now, and expressing some concerns about amending the regulations to make it easier to do business in Saudi Arabia. And they've done that. They've established those new regulations, which we really appreciate. So there's further steps to come, further enhancements. They started with the private category 125 operator certificate, and they're going to move on to the commercial category. Of course, safety above all, nothing to be compromised on. But in general, they're making life a lot easier for us.
Are we happy about the speed that the GACA is going with, considering catching up with the 2030 vision?
We are never, as an operators, we're never happy with the speed. We want everything to be done tomorrow, or actually today,
Or yesterday?
maybe yesterday.
Yeah.
But just to be fair, the tasks are not easy. So, GACA have been in a freeze for very long years, okay? And to change that, I would say, attitude in GACA, to change the approach, change the mentality, to go along with the vision of 2030 is not going to be easy. So adopting also for those new regulations from the market and different entities such as Ministry of Labor, that departments, all those, it won't be easy, okay? But I would say that I have to give them that. They are very responsive, very open to listen. But the task is not easy. It will take its time. Again, we wanted things to happen quicker, but it will take its time. We understand.
I would like to commend them, because I've been approached personally also by GACA asking about our experience operating out of Dubai and what can they do in the Saudi market to attract the talent into the Saudi. And we had a very nice and exciting discussions with them. I second your opinion about they are doing their best, and I think they are going on the right direction.
I agree.
Now, I'd like to understand, what is the role does the rise of the luxury travel? I mean, we talked about this before, about the luxury travel, and the tourism in Saudi Arabia plays in the demand of business aviation services. I mean, Is there a correlation between business aviation and luxury in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
I think there is, with the opening of Red Sea Global. They have a new airport they established. Al-Ula Airport as well is another historical site. You have Neom in the north as well. Riyadh is still and will remain the hub for business aviation so far in Saudi Arabia. But there is a good number of flights in and out of those touristic destinations. Al-Ula being one of them throughout the season. There's a greater number of movements. In the 6 months or 5 months, they have their season, if you will, from maybe the start of November all the way through March or April. You also have Red Sea Airport has opened up a few new hotels, if you will, which has led to a greater number of luxury travel, because there's families that can afford it, that would rent a private business jet and spend their holiday at one of the Red Sea resorts.
Everything happening in Saudi that increases the demand on the charter market, whether from the investors' part, the big corporates that is coming for the real estate developments and all the mega projects that's going on in Saudi, and whether in sports, whether in entertainment.
Yeah.
All of those famous singers and actresses and football players are using private jets, whether to come in and out of Saudi, fly in and out of Saudi, or within Saudi. So, for example, like some of the players, when they have a long weekend, I would go, if it's right to say, they will fly with their family to the Red Sea resort in a private jet to enjoy 2-3 days and go back again. So the whole environment of general aviation is changing based on what the changes that are happening continuously in Saudi. We are still in development, by the way. We haven't seen the end of it yet.
Okay, so that's lead me to my last question. I don't want to take much of your time, gentlemen. I know it's a first day in MEBAA. It's a busy day. Looking ahead, what are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities for Saudi Arabia business aviation market that we are seeing?
I think one of the challenges that we face is that we don't have, and I mentioned this earlier, we don't have enough private business jets in the market. And there's a need for more private business jets to enter the Saudi market, if you will. One thing that the local operators are trying to do is add more aircraft under management. There's only so many you could add, if you will. But we also welcome the opportunity to add wet lease aircraft, which is something that foreign operators look into because they want to tap into the Saudi market. So wet lease basically is a method that has been ongoing for many, many years during the Hajj and Umrah operations when airlines wet lease jets or airliners, if you will, bring them into the market for a short period of time to fill the gap. So that's probably one of our biggest challenges is right now the demand is so high that we don't have enough aircraft in the market. Some of the solutions that we're proposing is to encourage those that want to buy private business jets to hopefully buy, pre-owned to get their hands on a jet sooner and offer their aircraft for charter. So, but obviously that takes time. A quicker solution would be to bring in another operator and wet lease one of those aircraft in to an AOC.
I'd like to add to that that the facilities. As an operator, we are facing huge challenges when it comes to maintenance facilities.
So the infrastructure.
Yeah. So the infrastructure for operators are still way behind our expectation. And also, we really, and I have mentioned that to the GACA authority, that we really need their support with various government departments, whether the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Investment, the Ministry of Human Resources, because we work with all those people. And in order for us to develop our companies and expand, we need the support of all of us. And GACA is the one who is supposed to be representing us, okay? And based on what Yosef just said, for Horizon, today we have added a 767 to our OPSPEX under a wet lease contract with Comlex, where we have wet leased their aircraft and mainly the target is giving that aircraft an access to the Saudi market, even domestically. I agree with what he's saying. We're trying to use the SMI contract as the fastest way to cover our demand and a growing demand in Saudi.
Thank you very much for your answer. Mohamed Albokhari, Yosef Hafiz, thank you very much for being part of our broadcast. I'm very glad to host you here in the UAS booth. Looking forward for a busy days ahead of us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.